Good morning, guys. MWUSA Season 4, Episode 46. This is part 2 of my overnight from Wednesday into Thursday. And today, last night and today, I have been working on Indian casinos. And I've already been to 2, 3, 4, 5 of them. And we're going to continue on. I think this next one is an Indian casino as well. And then we'll have at least 1 or 2 other Indian casinos, depending on how tired I am after that as well. So, let me see, somebody. All right, so just to catch you up, we did all that stuff, and basically what happened yesterday was 3 blackjack sessions. I made like, whatever it was, $1,500, and made pretty much nothing on slots. It was pretty miserable on slots. I got to this place just before midnight, and this is part of a larger group of casinos, all with the same company. And I went to, there was 4 of them in the area. I went to 2 of them and then decided not to go to the third one because those were so small. I decided to go to this one, which is the biggest one. So I came out here. I walk in and the place is just absolutely enormous. I started by just turning left as soon as I came in and just started on that wall and went all the way around the outside, then all the way around the inside of the casino and played things as I saw them. But I didn't see a lot of plays. I saw one guy in there checking machines and he was busy. I saw him about 20 times walking by me, and he noticed me as well because I was playing all the right stuff. So I didn't play. Hold on one second. Okay, about to cross the state line, and the map was going to say it, but so I didn't really find a lot of stuff to play, and like one of the first machines I found, I made like $70 on. And then the next machine I found, I lost like $100 and something on that one. So I'd bought in for $100. I was down to like my $20 or $25. Walked around, found some almost plays, but not quite there, and couldn't make myself play them because I knew that they were negative EV, expected value. So I kept on looking, and finally I remembered that there were 2 machines in the back that were borderline. I went and looked again, and one of them was just still not enough for me. And the other one, I went for it, and that one was about $7 a spin, and played that one through, and actually ended up hitting a jackpot on that one for $2,790, and I ended up leaving that casino ahead $2,637. So that was good. With that and what I did as far as blackjack earlier, I'm up over 4,000, I believe, maybe a little bit more, 42, 43. And you know, my goal was around 4,000 or 5,000 for the trip, so we're in good shape. We just have to maintain and grow it a little bit more. That would be really good. As far as like yesterday, I walked like 12,000 steps, so quite a bit there. And you got to consider that most of my day yesterday was sitting at a blackjack table and not doing a lot of walking. So it wasn't until the second half of my day that I did most of that walking. So I'm trying to figure out where I am here while I'm talking to you. Right now, outside, it's keeps going back and forth between 36 and 37 degrees. This is a really nice area, like a resort type area. And looks like, wow, man, makes me want to continue on, but all right, I want to see what happens at this next casino. I might continue on. I just saw a sign for the next big city, and it's not that bad, and there's a lot of casino stuff going on there. Maybe I'll just go to the outskirts and hit one of the casinos and come back. So I'm not sure, because right now it's after 1 o'clock in the morning, and I need to be back home by like 5:30, something like that, to go to my daughter's something in school that she's got going on, choir or something like that. So that doesn't give me a lot of time. So that would be 5 is 17. So I got 16 hours, and I'm like 7 hours away from home. 7 hours plus, maybe almost 8 hours away from home right now. So, and I want to hit like 4 casinos minimum on the way back. So the more I think about it, the more I should not continue on. But I'll go to this next casino, see how it goes, and then put the next one in the map. And if it's like 35 minutes or less, maybe I'll do it. Otherwise, I'm going to turn around, head toward home, and hit all those casinos on the way back. So that's what's happening right now. I'm going to let you go, and I'll be back to update you soon. Alright guys, I am back, and just leaving this place. Really not a great place. I mean, if you're a local, maybe. It's got looks like a nice hotel attached to it, but the floor. And if I told you what company it was with, you'd be like, no wonder. I get it. I know exactly what you're talking about. I go in, and I thought, let me look at slots first, see how things go, and then maybe we'll play some blackjack. So start walking around. I'm looking at slots. Not really anything there. I mean, they have games. I probably saw 75 games in there that are beatable, but people have been checking them all night. It's dead in there, so there's really nothing for me to take at this point. So walking around, and I play just a couple small plays, and I end up ahead $13. So nothing really happening there. I go to play some blackjack. They have the stupid flush game and Mississippi something and all these different games, but only one game of blackjack. And then they have a craps game and a roulette game. No one's playing roulette. Well, 2 people are playing roulette. Nobody's playing craps. And the blackjack table's got 5 seats, and all 5 seats are full. Obviously, people would prefer blackjack over these other games. Anyway, I ended up leaving. Dirty place. I didn't really see a lot of security like I did last time. Last time might have been a special situation, but I did see police patrolling in there. There's like nobody in there. There's police patrolling around there. So I don't know what town this is or anything like that. I know around where I am, but I decided that yes, I'm going to continue on, and let me explain why. Let's say that there's a big disaster. I end up at this place. I'm not going to be there till almost 3 a.m. And we're talking about, at that point, over 8 hours to get home. That would leave me with 4 or 5 hours to play and to do meetings, catch up on my work, sleep, all that. I can do that. The thing is, what if I can't do that? What would happen? Well, I'm not going to make it home in time for my daughter's thing. Well, that's not acceptable, but I found another way to drive home that would bypass all the casinos. I would go nowhere else but this place and go straight home, and I could still make it in time, and I would pick up a couple hours. So we'll see how I feel. If I want to continue on and keep playing the casinos, I can do that. If I'm tired, I can sleep for a couple hours and still have enough time to get there. So I think I'm covered either way. So I'm happy with that. So with that being said, I'm on a 4-lane highway that's 35 miles an hour right now. So I am driving to this next casino, and I am about 40 minutes away from it. And we'll go in there and see what we can do. That place is enormous as well, so should be able to pick up something in there, and then we'll figure out if we're going to take a nap, if we're going to start heading back. if we're tired but not too tired and want to do some work for the office, you know, all that is on the table. So we'll figure it out as we go. But definitely 2 1-hour meetings have to get done, and 2 hours worth of work has to get done for the office. So there's no way around that. That has to be done by, I'd say, no later than noon. All those, well, one of the meetings is at 1, but other than that, everything I'm saying has to be done by 1, and I should be at least halfway home by that time. So that's where we are right now, and we're moving on to the next casino on an extremely dark road. I almost went off the road. There's no reflectors, there's no barriers, there's nothing. So anyway, and it's raining. I forgot to tell you, it's raining, and it's 36 degrees outside. So that's what's happening right now. How you doing? Nice and cozy in your warm bed? All right, I'll be back. All right, guys, I am back, and it was okay. It was not bad at all. One thing about this place is so big and it has so many entrances, you have to kind of remember which side you came in from, because it's such a huge place. If you get out in the parking lot on the wrong side, it's a long way around. So I made sure I was positive about which door I came in from. They might want to think about labeling those doors. That might be a smart idea. But anyway, I walk in, I start looking around, I see a slot I want to play, I sit down, I play it through, and I'm down like whatever it was, $85 or $90. All right, well, walking around, looking, trying to think now. I'm trying to just, I guess I was down about $80, I think. So I can't find anything else to play. So I go look for blackjack. Well, the blackjack, there's like 4 tables, mostly 8 deck, hit 17. I don't even know what that pen was, because I wasn't going to play 8 deck, hit 17 as it was. But there's like, everybody's loitering at the tables. They're not like really playing. Like 1 or 2 people are playing, and like 3 people are sitting there, no chips in front of them, not playing, just hanging out with the other guy. And it's like, how do you expect to make money when most of your seats are taken up by people who aren't playing? So I continue my search. I can't find anything there. I find an area that's all baccarat, and there's like 10 baccarat tables. 10, at least 10, maybe 12. And I mean, I could probably figure it out. Yeah, at least 12, maybe more. Completely jam-packed. All the Asians sitting down, and then everybody else behind them. Black guys, white guys, Hispanic guys, but all the Asian guys got it locked down. They got the actual seat, and everyone else is betting behind them. So I'm like, well, it doesn't look like I'm going to be able to do anything else. You know, it's like I'm down also. I'm not happy about that. Finally, I find a good double deck table. Sit down. Actually, the guy, before I sit down, I watch the other guy finish his last couple hands of the shoe, and he's getting killed on it. And at the end of the shoe, he counts his money. He's got like $3,000, and he says he's close to even, but not quite there. I sit down, we start playing, and it's some back and forth. And the first hand, of course, you know, it's always a bad sign when the first hand is a blackjack for the dealer. But what's even worse than that is when I had a 20 and the dealer had a blackjack. Now we have a running -4, and I lost money. So anyway, played there for a little while, and finally finished that up, and got up ahead $400. So that was good. And then I found a slot machine to play, and that took me from being down about 80 to being down 35. And that was going to be it. So I'm going to cash out my ticket, and I'm like, what? I didn't know they had that game here. So this game, most people don't understand it at all. It's very simple, and it's one of my favorite games. And it was in excellent position, a really, really good position. And I sat down, I played it for about 2 minutes, and I went from being down $35 to being up $151. So plus 151 on the slots, plus 400 on the blackjack, and we're continuing on. Now, that was going to be my furthest point for the day, and I'm tired. I mean, I'm pretty tired. So I'm going to head back I'm not going to take the shortest route home, but I am going to head back toward one of the Indian casinos that I played earlier, the first one. So we played a total of 7 Indian casinos back to back. And so we're going to go back to the first one. That'll be 8 Indian casinos. And then from there, I'm going to play a little bit there, take a nap in the car, get my work done for the office, and hopefully it'll be like 9 or so in the morning, and I can continue my trip at that point. So we'll see what happens. Right now I'm heading back toward that casino. It's about 2.5 hours from my current position, so not too bad. And yeah, we'll see what happens there right now. So about 150 miles away right now, 160 miles away right now. And I'll be back to update you after I get out of there. Alright guys, I am back. So starting to get tired, so I pulled over for about 45 minutes and rested at a gas station. Right now I'm back on the road. I should be at the next casino by 10 till 7. So and we'll continue our trip here. So I feel a little bit better. We'll see how it goes. But I was really starting to drag, and when I looked at how long it was going to be, and it was still an hour and a half, I decided to stop for a little while. So that's what's going on right now. I'll be back. Alright guys, I am back. So I go into this casino. It's like 6:50 a.m. when I get there, and I go in, start looking at slots and stuff, and just finding very little, which, you know, you kind of expect, because some people stay overnight in these places, especially a bigger place like this. And just couldn't make any money on slots. I was down about $20 when I went to play some double deck. I need to get some fuel here soon too, for the 3rd time on this trip. I went to the double deck area thinking, I just turn it around real quick, make $300 to $500, and be on my way. And no, that's not the plans that the universe had for me. 1 second here. Sorry. So right away, I'm losing, and I'm in for 500, then 1,000, then 12, then 15. Eventually, I'm in for 2,000, and just not going well. And we had a dealer change for a break, actually a couple times, I think. And the other dealer, the relief dealer, when he was there, things were going better. But I split aces 3 times and won one hand of the 6, and I pushed 1. So that means I lost 4. So that was awful. Had a lot of double downs and a lot of splits that would just went terribly. And the other thing is, that early in the morning, they had 2 tables open, and so they had 2 dealers and 1 pit boss, and then they changed pit bosses it seemed like every half hour or so. I had a different pit boss. I had 4 different pit bosses while I was back there. So eventually things leveled out, and I was in for, like I said, 2,000. I got down to like my last 200, got up to 1,500, got back down to like my last 300 again, and then hung around 500 for the longest time, and maybe 10 or 12 shoes. And then eventually things started picking up, and then I had 1 good shoe, which I think I only lost 2 hands that whole shoe. And when the shoe ended, I was down $25. And I thought to myself, I don't want to be down $25 to this place. I want to be ahead. I don't want this place to get any of my money. I want to win. So what did I do? I stayed. And how do you think that went, me trying to get even? It went very well, thank you. Actually, I did play into the next shoe and did all right, and ended up leaving the session ahead $50. So plus $50, and it was a bumpy ride. I was there almost about an hour and 30 or an hour and 35 minutes. Maybe actually a little bit more than that. Maybe an hour and 45 minutes. And it was pretty miserable most of the time. And anyway, the other point I was trying to make, and I just went off on a tangent there, was with me being the only one there, and all those pit bosses parading in and out, it was hard for me to have a big spread. So I would start the shoe with a higher bet. Then if it was negative, I'd go down. If it was positive, I'd go up. And that's all I knew how to do, because otherwise they're standing right there watching every single hand. And this being an Indian casino, they're always very worried about their money. And she was entering my bets in quite a bit. And when she was entering them in, I did mess with it and did some inverse stuff with it. So, I mean, sometimes you got to get creative. I didn't want to leave down 1,500 just because she was entering my stuff in. So, I did what I had to do. When I saw that she was entering in bets and it was like a true 3, I put like double the minimum instead of, my normal bet. So, and then when it was severely like running -5, -6, I bet just over the minimum bet instead of the minimum. So, not major changes, but it made it look like it. And I did do some half tier stuff where, like, if it called for, I don't know, a $200 bet, and I had, then the hand before was like $50, maybe I'd go to like 125 and then to 200. And you give up some EV there, but I'm trying to make it look realistic. And she's like, I like the way you play. And I said, how's that? And she said, well, you do progressive betting, which is like, you win, you raise your bet and stuff like that. And I'm like, oh, what is that? And so she told me, which obviously I already knew, but that's what she thought I was doing. And when I would lose a hand and then the count had gone down, I would drop down to table minimum. But sometimes as the count was going up, I would put 2 chips or 3 chips on top instead of 1. And I would do it in a way like I'm picking it up and just throwing it out there like I'm not paying attention to what I was betting. I don't know if all this makes sense, but, and in some of these situations, you have to do stuff like that. I normally don't do stuff like that, but sometimes you don't have a choice. You need to keep yourself under the radar, so to speak. So right now I came out of the casino and it's snowing. So the rain is gone and now it's snowing, and I don't know how it's snowing, because according to my car, unless it hasn't updated yet, it says it's 36 degrees, but snow everywhere. So I'm moving on to the next area, which is another 2 hours away. And there I'm going to probably only play 1 casino. I may play 2. Timing wise, it's not going to be good. It's still going to be pretty early in the morning. Not all the tables are going to be open. So what I may actually do is go to the one I was planning on going to second first, and just looking at slots there, and if there's any blackjack, play it, and then go to the other casino, and just, if there's nothing there, probably not stick around, because I don't want to be around all day. And from the spot that I'm at right now, I'm about 5.5 hours away from home. So And right now it's 9 a.m. So 9 and 5 is 14. That's 2 p.m. So I got 3.5 hours of gambling from where I am right now that I can make it home on time. So just want to keep conscious of the clock here as well. So anyway, you're all caught up. The sun is not out. It's bright out. It's light out. But I was actually like, it was 7 o'clock, almost 7 o'clock, and there was not a hint of the sun coming up, and I'm like, I may have crossed the time zone. I'm not sure. Is my clock right? Is it 6 o'clock? Is it 7 o'clock? So, but everything is cool. So we are moving on, and I will be back. All right, guys, as I'm continuing my trip to the next casino, I did stop and get fuel. I will have to stop one more time on the way home. That'll be 4 times I fill up in one episode, in one overnight. So quite a bit of driving. But, like I said, a lot of these are 1 or 2 hours apart, and I'm hitting quite a few casinos. So probably going to spend about $120 on gas today. Not terrible. So anyway, the snow has stopped. The temperature has gone up to 39. There is a light rain mist coming down, but overall conditions are not terrible. And looks like I'm going to arrive at this casino half an hour before a meeting. So by going to this casino first, I'm just going to play some slots, and then I'll take care of my meeting in the car and move on to the next casino, and then I'll be able to have plenty of time there for some blackjack. So that's what's happening right now. You're all caught up, and I'll be back to update you soon. All right, guys, I am back, and went in there. The first thing I saw was a guy buzzing around from machine to machine, checking them. But I was able to find a decent play actually, at about $1.50 a spin. It took me 2 spins to hit it, and that was the only thing I played, and ended the session ahead $46. So plus $46 there. Blackjack was non-existent practically, just a couple terrible tables, and really there was nothing else going on. Now they did add some new machines. Whoever got to them probably did pretty well, because none of them had anything on them anymore. So they were probably put in just in the last few days, and someone had already gone in and taken all the good plays from them. So too bad. Wish it was me. But right now I am going to continue on to the next casino. I am going to get the laptop ready and do my meeting, and probably do a little bit of work, and then we're going to hop in the casino, play a little bit of blackjack, and then we have to move on quickly to the next casino, because I have 2 meetings back to back, and then I'll have to be home right after that. So I'll have to immediately go home after that. So I have to finish up in this town first quickly, and then after I do my first meeting, go to the next town, check the casino, go to the car, do 2 meetings, and head straight home to be able to make it in time. So that's what's going on right now, and I'll be back to update you soon. All right, guys, I am back. Just left that casino and continuing our trip. It turns out my 11 o'clock meeting got canceled, so that was perfect. Was able to get in there, make some money instead of sitting in a meeting. And right now I'm heading to the next casino. I should get there in time. I should have tons of time. I'm going to try to be in and out of there in about 45 minutes, though. That way I can start my trip home before that meeting. That way I can be closer to home by the time those 2 meetings are over. I went into this casino, found a low-limit table to play. It was just me, and then a guy came to the table. I guess he had them save his seat for him. He was playing 2 hands. He was betting around $85. I know it's a weird number, per hand two hands, and putting $35 to $40 on each of two different side bets every hand. And every hand, he would give the dealer two $25 chips and ask him for nickels so that he could play the side bets. And then also, like, he'd put leftover chips on top of his bet. And it was so annoying and so slow. And eventually I noticed the table across from us had cleared up. And I had a running minus 11 or 12 at the time. And I had just gotten a small blackjack, like a min bet blackjack. And so I decided to switch. So I went over to the other table. The rest of the first shoe was really good. The second shoe was okay. Third shoe was okay. And I ended up finally leaving when two more guys came to the table, because we would have been three people at the table. And when I left, I was ahead $233. So plus another $233. And from my math, I believe that I am ahead just in the last 30 hours or so, $5,009. So plus $5,009, I believe, just for this overnight trip. We still have at least one more stop, and then we'll have those couple of meetings. So at this next stop, also, I'm going to get some food, and I will be eating while I am in the meeting. So eating in the meeting, that way we're not wasting any time. And then I'll be cleaning out the car as well, because I've got stuff everywhere. I'll be organizing during the meeting as well. So by the time I get home, everything is in order. So that's going to be it for right now. We're not going to do our segments yet because we're not ready. We don't have our food and stuff. So right now, heading toward the next casino, 45 degrees. It's not raining. It's not snowing. Everything is good. Cloudy skies, and I'll be back to update you. All right, guys, I am back, and I just left the casino, and I forgot to get food. So I don't know. I'm not going back there for food. I'll get food somewhere else. So I go in, start looking around, and I immediately see another guy looking. And I've seen this guy before, a younger guy, nice guy. He sees me, and he just walks the other direction. And then we kind of like meet like 3 times along the way, because we're checking the same stuff. Anyway, at the end there, I was getting ready to leave, and there was a couple on these 2 machines, and one of them got up. So I went over to check it out, and he got there a few seconds before me, and there was a play on it. And I asked him, I said, if you want it, go ahead, it's yours. You were here first. If not, I'll take it. He said, well, I don't have a lot of experience with this game. I'll just watch you play it. So I sat down, actually had decent variance on it because it was under $1 a spin. Played it through and talked to him for a while and got to know each other a little bit. And I ended up leaving ahead actually, that's not right, because I had 15 in cash and 100. So I ended ahead $215 overall. So plus 215 for that stop. And when I got there, there was a guy sitting at a machine. I'm like, what are you doing just sitting here? And he's like, look, and he showed me this great play. It was worth probably $300. And he asked me to borrow $10. He said, I'll give it right back to you. And of course, the play fizzled out. He ended up making like $15 profit. And then I'm like, go cash it out, meet me up front so I can get my $10 back. I meet him up front, and he's already spent most of it. So I'm like, that's it. Not helping you with anything else anymore. Don't even ask me. So, whatever. I mean, I understand the play fizzled out, but so you're free rolling me. If it works out, you pay me back. If it doesn't work out, I lose the money. That's not right. So, and I've helped this guy enough before, so that relationship is ending. Anyway, overall, I guess that would put us ahead like $5,224, which is excellent for just over like 30 hours or something like that. So I'm very pleased with that. Right now I'm heading toward home, I have to stop in a little while for my 2 o'clock meeting and my 2:30 meeting. I need to stop and get fuel. The last place I stopped at, I only filled it up about 3/4 of the way. It was raining, it was cold, it was expensive, so I would need to fill it up again before I get home anyway. So I'm gonna, well, we could do our segments. What did you eat today, MW? Nothing. I did not eat anything. So hopefully here in a little while I'll get myself something. It's not going to be Chipotle, maybe Wendy's. They still have that Baconator on sale. Son of Baconator for $3. I get a couple of those. I think that'll be good. And what did you tip today, MW? So a couple things. I did tip. How much did I tip? I tipped $20 for the jackpot that I got. That was the $2,790. And then I did tip one dealer $5 at one of the sweatier places that I go, and they've recognized me. But I just wanted to act like a normal guy, and I did tip $5 there. So a total of $25 out of $5,200. So that's one of my biggest days tipping. So anyway, right now, yeah, I guess that's it for now. I'm going to head toward home. I doubt I'm going to add to this, so we'll say our goodbyes right now. Yesterday we had 12,000 steps. Today we already have over 8,000 steps. So it'll be nice to rest a little bit when I get home. Hopefully take a nap for an hour before I see my daughter's thing at school today. And I'll catch up with you tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to be another long day, so buckle up for that. If you have any questions or comments, my email is mwusa21@gmail.com, mwusa21@gmail.com. See you next time.